This is the station that will air things this person does in school. Today we will talk about the longest chapter in any American history textbook, the American Revolution.
So get out your piccolos and your 12-year-oold drummer boys to put up on the front line and let's get started.
So if you've caught the last episode, you'll remember that the American Revolution didn't actually start with the signing of the Declaration of Independence. See, but it was closer to a decade before the actual fighting began, is when the seeds of war were planted. How do you like that metaphor? That took me about 5 minutes to write, so you better have.
Yes, we have an excellent writer. But enough of that. Let's get to the super amazing fun part of anything in the world, facts. So the Treaty of Paris in 1763 was signed, and later King George III issued an act to stop expansion into and around the Appalachian Mountains. So colonists were a little mad, but they were like, whatever, and they went on with the rest of their lives.
Oh, or at least they did for a while. See, their reactions just got more and more extreme from April 1764 to 1767. That's 3 years of crappy taxes on everything until they decided to change things on their own. So when they started getting a little rowdy on October 1st, 1768, King George III sent a bunch of troops to keep the peace, even though a bunch of them were probably causing more trouble than before. And as the tensions between settlers and the troops increased, something famous happened, just not in a good way.
The Boston Massacre took place 2 years after the troops arrived on March 5th, 1770. Though it's called a massacre, only like 5 people died. But the massacre was a spark that had been ready to light and at any moment, and as thus creating multiple explosions. Yet another great metaphor there. This writer is on a roll.
A little over a month later, King George III took away one of the acts to tax stuff, though for some reason he kept the tax on tea. So instead of stopping them from drinking tea and finding out the recipe to do something like, I don't know, sweet tea, what do? You guessed it, actually. You probably didn't, but now you're thinking about it. And of course, you're right. They freaking dumped a bunch of tea in a harbor. There's no innovation like American innovation.
The response to the Boston Tea Party was to basically take away liberties from Massachusetts. They took away self-government and judicial independence and 4 measures called the Intolerable Acts. Great name, by the way. Britain, you actually scared me a little there. The only thing scary about Britain now is like Harry Potter and Doctor Who. Those guys can beat up anybody.
Who?
Ha! I see what you did there.
No, seriously, I think you referenced something in the future again.
Really? Well, I'm so sorry about that. Honestly... So, before we get into the actual battles, let's take a look at the weather. Dr. Pietrzak, it's to you.
It's raining cannonballs here on the East Coast. And over here in the Appalachian Mountains, it's gonna have some rain and some sun. I don't really know. Meteorology isn't that good at this point in time. All I know is Nibiru won't happen for quite some time, so there's that. Back to you, Shaggy.
Wow, I'm very glad.
Same here. So let's get to some battles. I'm just going to give you a couple names and maybe a little bit of information. It just depends.
Let's get on with it. I've got to go drink tea with my buddies.
Okay, here we go. The Continental Congress met up and decided what to do in September 1774. From there, the battles of Lexington and Concord, April 19, 1772, which were the first exchanges of Minutemen and British soldiers, took place. Paul Revere, as everyone knows, is the one who warned everyone about them yelling, "The British are coming! The British are coming!"
Thank you for busting my eardrum.
What's an eardrum?
On the 16th of June, that same year, they hired George Washington to be the commander-in-chief of the militia. They spent 2 million bills of credit to get the military. This probably won't be the last time they spend a lot of money on the military. The next day, the Battle of Bunker Hill was one of the first major battles in the war. The result was a win, with 1,054 British deaths and only 367 American deaths. Yay! Wow, that felt really bad saying that. On July 5th, the Olive Branch Petition was a petition. Congress proposed recognition of American rights, ending the Intolerable Acts, in exchange for a ceasefire. George III rejected it and on August 23rd declared the colonies to be an open rebellion.
January 19th, 1776, Thomas Paine's Common Sense, it's a book by the way, was published. May 2nd, France gives aid to us, and that helps a lot. July 4th, 1776, the freaking Declaration of Independence is signed. Take that, British guys. Ha! I'm referencing to the 1700 British guys, not future people. August 1776, New York is taken by the darn British guys after defeat. But then, the day after Christmas, that same year, the Battle of Trenton, New Jersey, was a nice win that provided a huge morale boost. Then the 2nd of January, 1777, George Washington left Trenton and made his way to Morristown. Then, the trumpets will sound at the surrender of Saratoga. 5,700 British troops surrender because of low supplies to the Patriots. Yay!
March 1st, 1781, the ratification of the Articles of the Confederation, which was the first constitution that took 16 months of bickering to agree on, was put into order. September 5th, that same year, the Battle of Capes made it to where the British ships couldn't get reinforcements or even leave. They all died and it was a victory, however very cloudy on how it went down. October 18th, they leave. They all died. October 18th, that same year, the British surrendered again on Cornwalls and Yorktown. Then March 5th, 1782, finally the British started to settle some peace negotiations. On September 3rd, the Treaty of Paris is signed, thus bring the Revolutionary War to an end.
Let's go live to the Treaty of Paris signing with Birdman.
Whoa, that's signing though. I was so drunk I thought I saw someone on fire, so I took his mask. LOL.
Well, that's a little insulting, but kind of funny, I guess. Well, that'll just about do it if you don't have any more comments, Shaggy.
He took Darth Vader's helmet off his burning body.
That he did. This was Anakin.
Vader's helmet. It was Vader's helmet.
And Shaggy signing off. This is Station Know Everything This Person Does in School. Bye!
Thank you.